I want to start. I have to start on this topic. I have to
Go
start
on.
on this
Bro.
because I am about to rain on this parade, this absolute nonsense that this Man United is back crap that we hear every single season. Listen, people, talking about Spurs and Arsenal and bottle this, bottle that, Chelsea with Potter. I don't see the United hype. I can't lie. I'm being dead serious. I really just don't see the hype. And like when it comes to Manchester United, I really do think they will fall off because these players have shown their true colors previously with two previous managers, three if you count Ranić. So, a few of these players, of course, now they have Anthony who's just doing unnecessary spins and stuff, but I'm talking about like the old guard who were there letting you down, all over the pitch, like Rashford and like etc., like we saw against Chelsea, for example. But at this moment in time, I think Manchester United, I don't see them finishing in the top four at all, and I do think that West Ham are gonna get a draw or a win this weekend because we played West Ham, and West Ham are just not an easy team to play at all. And many people might argue that might have been slightly lucky as well to win that game. Last season, I was on the terrace and I called Declan Rice overrated. Now I'm actually going towards the other side because after seeing these constant performances, I feel maybe he's a bit underrated because I feel like the fact that his price is that high is not actually allowing people to like rate him properly, and I really rate him highly. And I do think West Ham are going to get something this weekend, and I really do not believe, in my heart of hearts, all rivalry aside, I do not believe United are in a top four race. I think now Man United are playing great football with Ten Hag, which is what they wanted. They prioritize playing good football, get results later. That's the Pep school of thought. First, get the football right, and then the results will come. So they're playing good football. They're doing well on the pitch, but I don't think they have the clinical edge to go all the way until May and actually finish in the top four. So I do see them drawing or losing this weekend
Okay.
actually, and I think West
Oh,
Ham
Yeah.
are very underrated, even though they've had a crap start to the season.
I get what you're saying around the top four thing, and I haven't personally seen very many Man United fans who I know. I've seen a lot of the, at Ten Hag's armies, at United Troy's. I don't consider those people real unless you're willing to put your face and or your name on camera or in an emoji. I don't take your opinion seriously because you can
I
say
think
whatever you
United
want.
Trey has put his face out there.
Oh, has he? Yeah. Again, I don't know. I'm just again. I still think the United train, the Chelsea train, this Liverpool train. I think they're all the same person. Personally, I've always felt that. I could be wrong, but
No, they're not.
no, I know. But it's still they all tweet, but they all tweet in the same way about their own clubs. It's just it's a hack. We all know that anyway. You get my
No
point
problem.
though. I don't care about nameless, faceless people. I care about the opinions of proper individuals. And I haven't seen very many Man United fans say we're going to be in the top four. I think United fans want to wait and see for this next 5 or 6 games where we're playing a lot of the lower down the table sides, barring West Ham. But I do think you're wrong to suggest there haven't been improvements. United haven't, in my recollection since Fergie, I can't remember the last time we played 5 games on the bounce where we dominated the ball, we dominated the majority of the territories, and we created the majority of the better chances in a game. I don't remember the last time we did that. In fact, although we've beaten Spurs still a number of times since Fergie retired, I can't remember the last time we treated them like Spurs post 2013. I don't remember doing it. And we ragdoll to dominate the ball like we did for large parts against Chelsea in that first half. I know the substitution of Kovacic changed it, but why would it not? Top class midfielder. They had to change their system to address what we were doing. The only match since the Brentford game where we have been nowhere near our opponents was Man City, and they smashed us. In fact, since that Brentford game, and it is a key data point because that was the game where the manager essentially dragged them over the coals, made them run those extra miles, and said, from this point moving forward, you're going to work hard. You're no longer going to get away with what you got away with under Ralph, under Ollie, the back end of Jose. And since that point, the only team in the league with more points than Man United is Arsenal. Now, I'm not suggesting for a single second that Man United are quote unquote back. I'm not suggesting for a single second that we were even going to make the top four. But I am saying that going into this West Ham game, I'm confident we can beat them. I'm not disrespecting them. Declan Rice quality. Skamaka, if he gets the chances, he's such an upgrade on Antonio. They've got Poqueta in their team. They've got a number of players that are very good. So I'm not overrating West Ham. But this Man United team has turned a small corner. There's still a lot more progression needed. There's still a lot more players that need to be purchased. But when you also look at this, of those 9 games that we've played since that defeat, those games also include playing and beating Arsenal, playing and beating Liverpool, obviously getting beat by Man City, smashing Tottenham, and playing Chelsea away. So 5 of those 9 games were against you lot. So
We lose every week, Terry.
So turn
We're not-
then cool,
Yeah, and we're
out.
crap, so you don't put us in the mix as well. According to you, lot, we're crap.
So based on that logic, there's no one Man United can beat in the league. They've got a little bit better.
You know what? Yeah,
let me say,
I just think Man
let me
United
say,
just need to go about their business, taking it game by game. I don't think you guys had much not a lot of people had high expectations for United. So for you guys to even be in and amongst the teams fighting for top 4 come the end of the season, that would be like impressive in my opinion, because I didn't expect that. I didn't expect Man United to be first season under Ten Hag, signing all these players, for them to embed well and to do this consistently. I still think there's a long way to go in this season. And a lot of your second half of the season, you're going to be facing a lot of the big teams away from home also. So we're going to have to see how you do and face everyone in the big test. And I agree with Hussam with the clinical part. I think that's what I was trying to say last week when I was talking about you guys against smaller teams. That's where you're going to have to figure out if you can do that.
Yeah, let me just. I'm going to a second, Monster. Sorry, I agree with that. We've got to go away to these teams. I also agree with Monster with Hussam that some of these players will let us down in the back end of the season. We won't make top 4. But where I disagree with Hussam, and I think he's being overly hyperbolic himself, is that there is no improvement. I don't see what's improved. I don't see what's got better. A blind Stevie Wonder can see the improvement in our football. So
I know there's improvement, but not as hyped. Not as hyped is all I'd say. I see the improvements, of course. You got new players who are fantastic players, so you're going to improve. Yeah, but I'm not buying in yet. That's all I'm saying.
And you don't need to buy in. We don't need you to, because the facts don't lie and the facts don't care about your feelings. You know, we have improved tenfold. And I remember, barring Monster, because he definitely wasn't on one of these. I know you other 3 were, and most of the other members of the top 6 panels. You all stated that if Man United finished above your club this season, it would be the height of embarrassment. So I've got every receipt and every clip ready. The montage is made. I'm just waiting to post it. If any of us finish in front of your clubs, if we finish, in front of your clubs, you man are getting cooked like a goose at Christmas. It's coming. It is coming. Sorry, Monster, over to you, mate.
Yeah, in terms of the game, it's going to be tough. West Ham are not an easy team. Obviously, they got, top 3 DMs in the league, but not number 3. He's top 3, not 3. They are a very, very top team in it. But with Man United, right? I think they have improved. I'm not saying they've improved like tenfold. They've massively improved, but they're steadily improving, which is kind of the way you want to go as a club. Do you get what I mean? It's like he steadied the ship. They're playing good football. You can tell that, all right, cool. If you get some good players in to fill out certain positions, then you lot will be so much more better. So if I was a United fan, I would at least be appreciative of what Ten Hag is doing, and I wouldn't necessarily be complaining. It's just they need to maybe get rid of some players and get some new players in certain positions, and maybe then they'll be able to challenge for the league. Do you get what I mean? But
whoa.
I'm talking about not now. We're talking about in the future. Like, listen, it doesn't take a lot to necessarily go from challenging from top 4 to challenging the league. If you buy certain players, good players in good position that can provide balance to your team as well, and improve you can easily challenge for the league. You've seen it with Arsenal. I don't know how far Arsenal's going to take this, but right now, at least you're saying it. They're challenging for the league right now just by making the right improvements. So it can happen.
Monster's right, though, and I'm going to say something here. And I need to make sure I word this right so it can't be clipped. I am not saying
talk your talk, Terry. Don't.
No.
Talk your talk.
I am not saying that I like them or I support them or they're brilliant. I still want them to sell the club, but the Glazers have allowed the manager to do some very important things behind the scenes so far that have helped the side. The eradication of player power. I'm not going to say it's completely gone now, but what's happened with the dropping of Maguire, picking players on meritocracy, the dropping and the discipline situation when it comes to Cristiano Ronaldo. Our owners haven't allowed any of our previous managers, even Jose Mourinho, when he was still at his peak, they didn't even allow him to go that insubordinate player has got to leave, or this individual here that doesn't fit my style has got to go. They didn't allow Jose to do it. And this was when Jose was only, 5 years off of after winning a treble in football. The fact they're letting Ten Hag do it is every bit as important as the style of football, the style of play. These players know that they have to work hard. So I don't think we're ready to challenge for a title yet. I don't even think we'll be ready next season. However, Monstar's right. If the behind the scenes situation is improved and we're running things well, we have the money to compete because we've fucking outspent City in the last decade. We just wasted the goddamn money and we've always allowed bad behaviors to set in. So, for me, as I say, I mean, there's a comment here that made me laugh as well. It says, at facts, Terry, you're still 6, so zip it. We are still 6. and we know that we are. However, that isn't how a trajectory works, because that's just not how it works. We know the direction that we're going in, and we know.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
Genuine question. This is not banter. Genuine question.
Go on.
A season and 15 games later, from the purchase of Jadon Sancho, I think there's been conversations going on about him. So I just want to know where you stand, because he's genuinely, and I'm being serious because I'm in the streets of Twitter. He's gone from being compared to the greatest wingers. Now that he's in conversations with Reece Nelson. I promise you, I'm not even lying. I swear to God.
Yeah,
he's actually in a conversation with Reece Nelson because he's dropped off so badly.
It's very easy for me. When we bought him, what he'd done at Dortmund deserved respect. I don't do this whole Bundesliga tax thing. I find it disrespectful. The expectation was high because of what he delivered, not to mention the money. First season last year, barring 1 or 2 games, absolute dog breath. This season started very, very well, but he keeps having those same dips. So he has the Chelsea game's a prime example. That was last season's form. The Gay away to Ammonia, that was last season's form. But he has had a handful of very good performances this year. However, I don't need to ride out for this guy. I'm a Man United fan. I'm not a Jadon Sancho fan. And you saw last night with Garnacho, a youngster making his first full debut. The guy took on 3 or 4. I don't care what the stats say. I didn't bother reading them because we all watched it. He was taking people on. He was putting defenders on their backside. He was going on the inside and on the outside. Give this kid more game time. Jadon Sancho needs to be braver. He needs to use his ability to beat people. There's no way all these fullbacks are as quick as him. He's got to be braver and push forward. If not, then you leave Manchester United Football Club. I don't care what I thought about you when you arrived. If you ain't delivering, you leave my football club. There's no player that is bigger than my football club. Ronaldo isn't, in my eyes. Therefore, Jadon Sancho, he is not even. He is a, he is a minuscule of legend, of player of legend compared to Ronaldo at the club. And if Ronaldo doesn't want to be here, I would close the door. I'd see him out the door, if that made sense. So yeah, on Jadon Sancho, I get the conversation, but however, I'm not in all the spaces. I listen to some. From my point of view, I'm not really worried about Jadon Sancho because Man United, for me, we're in a rebuild situation. Everybody's got to a degree, clean slate under this manager, under his system. If he doesn't cut the mustard, he'll be sent away. We're not nitpicking right now where it's, United to be challenging for a title if they had a better player than Sancho. So I get the talk around Sancho, but for me, it's like I'm more focused on the way the club's being run, the style of play being introduced, and then you move on to the more nitty-gritty side of things by looking at individual players. But yeah, his performances in the last couple of games haven't been good enough. And if that doesn't improve, sell him because we need better. Simple as that for me.
Fair enough.
And you know what?
This price tag as well, it's approaching. It's a little bit off the Grealish, mark. And funnily enough, Almiron's playing better than both that Grealish mocked last season. So it is what it is. I think we move on. The reason why I'm not in the excuses business, and I do this for my own football club. So I keep the same energy. I don't do excuses. I've called all my world class players crap this season on the Terrace and on multiple different platforms. I'm not an excuses guy. When it comes to Sancho, I feel like he's had his opportunity on multiple different positions as well. He's played on the right, he's played on the left. He's even I wouldn't say in midfield, but played behind the strikers a little bit as well. So I feel like he has been given an opportunity, but I don't think he's taken it. But as you said, as long as you keep winning, I don't think that conversation will be brought up. But if you go on a 3-game, 4-game losing streak maybe, and he's playing like crap, people will bring it up.
I think as well, just to add on that, this isn't a defense of Jadon Sancho, but it's a fact. Because we're in another rebuild with a different style philosophy, there are going to be casualties, good, bad, or indifferent, from the squad that the manager inherited. This is the problem we have always starting new projects, is that Sancho just may not be the kind of player that Ten Hag wants for one reason or another. Sancho came in to be the fix on the right. We've already gone out and spent 85 million on another right-sided attacker in Anthony. So Sancho's already been played on the left. And for me, if we tomorrow clicked our fingers and had a proper number 9, Rashford goes onto the left. So Sancho would be on the bench anyway if everybody's fit. And Rashford under this system with Ten Hag is starting to get back to what is his best. Now, he's never going to be Eden Hazard. He's never going to be Lionel Messi. But what he can be for Man United is a player that contributes between goals and assists, 25 to 35 goals and assists over a course of a season. And he's starting to bring his goals back again. And I always thought he would with a better system and a better style. And yeah, so for me, Sancho, the conversation will happen, but it's just one that I'm personally not that concerned with right now. But I do get the challenge there.